Moving at number 6 on my list, we have Friday the 13th, Part 3 from 1982. Another recent first-time viewing, and this one has Jason officially Shelley. It's a good sequel, yet I feel kind of more like done in the Part 1 mode, except it's not set in Camp Crystal Lake, but it does have its good moments in some characters, including a biker gang tossed in, and some thrilling moments shot in 3D. Man, I would have loved to see the way how it was originally intended in 3D. Even though that ending, I do have thoughts about, because that ending is done too similar to Part 1's conclusion, of course. But I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Not my favorite in the franchise, but still, it's a decent one. Man, I cannot believe this took me forever to get around with viewing this one. And even though I'm still big on the first two films in my personal opinion. And about that ending, could that have been the end of Jason? Well, we'll find out. Making halfway through the list, out comes The Ghost Galleon from 1974 at number 7. Another recent first-time watch, as I'm catching up with the Blind Dead series lately. Here, the Templar Knights hopping on board a ghost ship this time around, as 50% of undead action is presented on board, alongside 75% on board at sea is the main setting. This was an okay entry in the series, which I know there are other settings that have more atmosphere for carnage, since you got a whole lot more of those Templar Knights out there. Yet, it does have some good spooky moments, including the ending as well. I love the eerie ship setting it had, though, but wasn't enough for those Templar Knights to feed on. I honestly prefer the first two films, while this one could have been better if I saw a remastering subtitle edition on this, but surely it might grow on me with future better viewings someday. On a bright note, I can't wait to check out Night of the Seagulls up next in episode 4 soon. Coming up next at number 8 is Species 3, also from 2004. Kinda enjoyed watching this one back in the day, yet nowadays I'm somewhat neutral, but still not big on the third film, which we follow a dying Eve gives birth to a daughter, which a scientist cares for her, while commandos and students get involved hunting down her kind overall, to which not only one, but 2 other alien hybrids out there. It's a direct-to-video title, which, you know how they are, same goes for made-for-TV films. Yet, can't help but find myself rewatching this alongside Species 2 whenever I feel like it, while Species 1 has the highest in rewatchability, of course. Diving into number 9, Jaws 3 from 1983. Still know I grew up watching and liking the entire Jaws franchise as a child. This one is probably the weakest in terms of having to take place at an aquarium and allowing the shark to enter and attack while originally shot in 3D. Sounds both impossible and campy to keep the terror up flowing. Just like with Alien 3, it was another sequel that fans didn't expect to see how this one play out. Getting close to the end of this month's ranking, we have Halloween 3, The Marsupials from 1987, reaching at 10th place, and oh boy, this was some real bizarre sequel that went way down under. I mean, the exploitation way, only weirder and ridiculous. Philby Mora directs once again, as we're introduced to other shape-shifting creatures such as were kangaroos, for example, but still kept some werewolves in. What is even more strange was the fact it earning a PG-13 rating. So, what is going on here? Talk about Crazyville with those were animals in the land of Australia, mate. Certainly unlike the original two, this one has transformations that are most laughable and not so scary, nor cool looking. Oh well. I don't need to say too much more on all that, because I know where things have already begun to fall apart with this franchise. And now for the last title on this episode's ranking, in which it happens to be at number 11, that being Wishmaster 3, Beyond the Gates of Hell from 2001. A recent first-time viewing on this direct-to-video sequel, where we follow the Jinn up to his usual tricks in granting everyone deadly wishes so he can unleash evil upon the world, and only one girl can defeat him. You know, the same old plot line, but this time set on college campus. John Novak takes over the role as that Jinn, which is a shame that Andrew Divoff could not reprise his iconic role for this third entry. I'll be honest on the fact that Andrew Divoff as the Jinn in 1 and 2 were his finest hours in portraying such villains, next to Obsidian's Red Eye. And he always cracked me up by the way how charmingly sinister his character worked out perfectly. Novak failed to follow those footsteps. Adding a small touch of teen sex to the campus setting was not my dish of tea in this sequel, while those gory wishes weren't wild enough, and that one floor possessed by the mighty angel helping our girl out seemed too cheesy to the plot. All did not make this sequel worthwhile in the franchise, so I'll stick to the first two overall. Just be careful on what you wish for with the next number. Alright, that concludes part 3 of this episode. And before you can call it a trilogy of terror, or think you are safe for now, there is always a catch when a fourth film is called in last minute out of nowhere. That is when you must think over again. Yet at the same time, can't wait to check out that new sequel coming soon, because we will be exploring next month as part 4 joins in the franchise frenzy. So be sure to tune in on that. Same time, same channel. I hope you enjoyed watching my thoughts while ranking this latest entry, as I'll be checking yours out up next. Bet you might have quite the choice of lineup there. Like usual, I would like to give a huge thank you with shout out to the one who's hosting this year's ongoing challenge, Joe the Horror Man. Joe, if you are watching this, your channel is always phenomenal. As well, keep the passion for the genre alive, and thanks for sharing your knowledge on your entire collection and so forth. Because, after all, physical media still matters today, no matter what. Until then, Cinematic Otaku Chris signing off. If you like what you see here, you know what to do. Press that thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe if you enjoyed everything on my channel overall. See you again real soon. Peace.